Hello and welcome. We bring to you snippets from the video workshop of Foxy Endometriosis Committee. This workshop was held at Lucknow on January 30th during the 63rd All India Congress of Obs and Gynae AICOG 2020. The workshop was inaugurated by Foxy President Dr. Nandita Palshetkar, Vice Presidents Dr. Sudha Prasad and Dr. Aswath Kumar and other dignitaries. Felicitations followed and the video workshop began with Dr. Jyoti Mishra's glorious presentation, followed by Dr. Asha Rao among others. Towards the end of the 2-hour-long program was a case-based panel discussion on clinical dilemmas in endometriosis management. Moderated by Dr. Kuldeep Jain, Chairperson, Endometriosis Committee, the panelists included Foxy Vice Presidents Dr. Sudha Prasad and Dr. Aswath Kumar, Dr. Asha Rao, the incoming Chairperson, Endometriosis Committee for the next 3 years, and Vice Chairperson, ICOG, Dr. Parul Kotadwala. An interesting case discussed was on management and counseling required for an 18-year-old girl with severe dysmenorrhea. Her ultrasound showed a 4 to 5 centimeter endometrioma in the right ovary and 3 to 5 centimeter endometrioma on the left side. Let's hear it.
Low dose Oxipil, how much time? Third question always comes in your mind is how long you will give. That doesn't have answer. It may not be actually given for years. So what we actually do is that after 6 months I stop. Let the patient get one period. Then again, just for a reassurance for her, then again I continue. That is the first line. Second part of it is that you can try Dinogesis in this case. Okay. The Dinogesis, the two problems here is that one problem is that the cost of Dinogesis. Okay. Compared to Oxipil, it is very costly. Another problem of Dinogesis is how long you can give. The studies have come up to 2 years and all. You can give more than that, you can say. But you cannot know how long you will be able to give. All the drugs, one thing is sure, whichever you give, Oxipil or Dinogesis, endometriosis is a disease, if you stop it will again, pain and away will start. So you have to counsel the patient clearly that this is a long-term treatment. Okay. And whatever, so first I will try with Oxipil, then only I go for the second line treatment in 18-year-old girl. Now, coming to the role of surgery, if she is not responding to this, the last choice for me, then I may have to do a surgery. If he is not responding to any of this, then only I go for surgery. I sorted out the first line, I think, of surgery.
Dr. Sudha?
I think this lady, I would rather give her Dinogesis. Give her a trial of Dinogesis for about 6 months. Most often we see a regression.
See, with the Oxipil, there is intermenstrual bleed. So again, the chances are there that the endometriotic cyst, this is big one, it will increase in size. So now the first line of treatment is the Dinogesis, should be given to 18 years old, and we can give more than 6 months also, and you do the every 3 monthly follow-up and see what is the size, and it is regressing and she will be asymptomatic.
Yeah, what I meant was trial of 6 months, and if it's not regressing, then you think of surgery.
I think as far as the efficacy is concerned, OCP and Dinogesis, they share the same profile. But the compliance as well as the side effect, now the safety of Dinogesis has been already studied very, very nicely in reproductive age group. Up to 5 years they are given for pain relief. There are not much the problem there. But in adolescent, there are 2 very large studies. They have actually published the data on safety issue. After 1 year of Dinogesis exposure in adolescent girls, there was 23% patients who had a compromised what you call osteoporosis. So scans were done, but this was reversible. This was reversible in 70% of the patients. So that is a silver lining. So once you are prescribing these for long term, you have to follow them. That is what is the recommendation. After 1 year, they can be given. I have used in many of the adolescent girls for continuously for 3 years. Okay, and they respond very nicely, very are not looking at the size of the endometrioma. Again, that is very important. Size of endometrioma is going to take very long in decreasing. Most of the patients, what they do, they get an ultrasound done, and then when they see that there is no regression in the size, they leave the medication. So, if the patient is comfortable, there is no pain, I think they should be counseled that size will be taken care of during the process. So that is very important. Counseling is very important. And even if these patients they do have breakthrough bleeding, then you can add stop the treatment and then again restart. So breakthrough bleeding once in a while is okay. But if it is very frequent, then you have to use estrogen also in this case.
Now there is combination of Dinogenes plus estrogen has come. For this, some companies have come down with Dinogenes plus estrogen. Estradiol has come. So that is also a good combination. So you can, the period control also will be there.
See, Dinogenes with estrogen pills were introduced in 1997. In fact, Dinogenes first came into market as a pill. But then that pill was not good enough, side effect profile was high, so they withdrew it. Then now recently Dinogenes has come up as an isolated entity. Adding estrogen doesn't help if it is given for endometriosis. It is a false notion. In fact, all OCs, because of their estrogen component, people are now little bit worried about giving it to people. So even Cochrane is going to revise their recommendation. Previously it was
primarily it should not be added. Primarily it should not be added.
Now in cases of intermenstrual bleeds, it has been recommended that increase the dose of Dinogenes to 4 milligrams per day and then it comes down significantly. So that is my little worry is that cyst is not going to go away.
Yeah, that is okay.
Because some of us need to speak about regression of the cyst.
No, no,
Yeah,
Cyst
so
is
that
allowed.
is very important.
Only
The
the
regression of cyst is not the criteria for the efficacy of
Will
the
not regress. Only the symptoms will. We are only worried at that time about the symptoms.
But with Dinogenes, we have some regression of the size of the cyst.
It is a very minor regression because of the absorption of the fluid from the cyst.
anyone for GnRH
Even
analog.
there are papers to support that Dinogenes for 24 weeks. There is a regression in the size of the cyst.
But when you stop it, how do you stop again? It
Again
comes
it
to
will
the
come.
same size.
And sometimes we are giving them Dinogenes initially and later around 6 to 8 months and
The funniest thing is
continuous
that
OCP.
all this medical treatment, whatever you give, you stop, it will again.
Anyone for this GnRH analog.
There is
Yeah,
one
that
question for all of us. Would persistent cyst lead to persistent damage to ovary further damage? Are we not setting on fire? That is my
No, sir, at 18-year-old we will not be.
She has a reproductive career ahead of her. We do not, I'm just saying this, we do not know whether that cyst lying there will continuously further damage.
At the same time, removing the cyst in such a young girl, she has got a long reproductive life. She will have a recurrence. She may get married at 26, 27 or 30. In the meanwhile, she will have a recurrence. So how many times can we operate?
No, I don't think means that should be the approach. Means I think the medical management remains the first line of therapy. You are having OCP, you are having Dinogenes, you are having GnRH analog also.
But
If it can be given.
It can be given,
If
it
she is not responding to your Dinogenes treatment, GnRH analog can be given and then continued with Dinogenes. That is another protocol. You give
But you can't give long.
you give 3 months of GnRH analog, that will suppress,
Tablets are
and then you continue with Dinogenes.
and antagonist tablets have come. What's it called?
Ergolic.
Elagolics have come. So we cannot. We have to discuss the cause then.
It is there.
These fertility specialists not letting touch a girl of 18 years.
So all these things have come. Even though instead of giving GnRH injections, you can go for antibiotics. Yeah.
So now we are having 2 short questions.
An interactive question and answer session followed. The event also featured a book release highlighting the results from adolescent endometriosis awareness survey conducted at various schools across India. Survey results showed that more than 50% of adolescents suffer from pain during periods and majority are from South India. On the basis of 5 criteria for suspected endometriosis, the incidence of adolescent endometriosis varied from 12% to 27%, maximum being progressive dysmenorrhea. Lack of awareness and availability of medical treatment for endometriosis-related pain was clearly visible during the survey. Minimal referrals to gynecologists leading to delayed diagnosis is evident from this survey. The survey concludes a dire need for early detection of endometriosis. Regular school camps on menstrual awareness and screening programs can help minimize suffering from pain in adolescents. The attendees were awarded a certificate. Jagsonpal Pharmaceuticals looks ahead to brainstorming sessions. 64th AICOG will be held at Indore next year. Hope this snippet has been interesting and informative. Thank you.